And good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you so much. All of my old subscribers, all of my new subscribers, all of my future subscribers. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you so much, okay? This morning, I wanted to talk about, and I want you guys to know I appreciate all of your prayers because last night I was not feeling good. And my grandbaby was supposed to come this morning, and I called my daughter to let her know that I was going, go to the doctor this morning because I am feeling better. Okay, believe it or not, I was sick last night. But after I, you know, released some stuff, I felt better. Okay, um, but I still got a head. Y'all could tell them stopped up. I still got a head cold and stuff. But I am feeling a lot better than I was feeling last night because all of a sudden that sickness came over me. But my daughter was like, "Mama, I'm staying at home this morning because the baby is really sick this morning." Okay, so everybody, because when I went to my mom is just getting over her situation, and my sister's real sick. My sister caught it from my mama, and I guess I caught it from both of them yesterday. Okay. But you guys make sure that you stay overloaded on your vitamins, okay? Because this is the season with this weather being up and down, it makes, especially as you start to get older, it when it's hot one day and cold the next day, that is what have people sick, okay? So make sure you wear your mask and you stay um keep your multivitamin. Go get some Geritol, okay? But I wanted to talk about why it is important to be proactive in the Young Dolph's case. Okay, as you all know, Young Dolph's fiance MIAJAYE had been she'd been vocal. Okay, and the celebration of his life is coming up. Okay, I like to call it the celebration of his life, but of course we all know that on November 17th of 2021, that is the day that unfortunately the people that they have arrested and the people that paid them, okay, got together and decided that they was going to plot on his life and take his life, right? And I'm so happy now that she's using her platform to speak out more about what is going on, okay? To speak out more, to make sure that she lets the public know as it relates to the family, because the family had been very, very quiet. I truly thought that the district attorney, because that's what they are supposed to do, that they had been, sharing information with them. I do understand the dynamics of the Young Dolph's case. I do know that because there are a lot of major components in his case, that in the end he is going to get justice in totality. Okay, there are some areas in that situation that they can't talk about because they probably don't even know about. Okay, they know about, but they don't know the details about. Okay, um, but I still believe that they should, as it relates to if it's a federal entity or whatever, even though I know they can't give details, I feel like they should give her solace. They should give his family solace and say, um, if they can, this is what's going on. Normally, in deep situations where there are other agencies involved, when it's real deep, oftentimes they can't. It sucks, but oftentimes they don't. Okay. But as far as the state situation, I really don't I think that they should be very open. Okay. And as I said before, when they changed Judge Coffee, I said there could be two things that's going on. Okay. I said there could be two things going on, which is either the appellate court saw where saw exactly what Luke Evans was trying to do. They know in the end because he came in trying to get Judge Coffee out of there. I mean, that was very suspicious to me. When you see people do stuff like that, that's what he came in. He came in swinging. You have to watch stuff like that. Who Luke Evans practices in Nashville? Who's paying for him, and who actually referred him? So you have to take all of those entities into consideration, right? Somebody, more than likely another lawyer, probably sat down with somebody that's paying for it and said, well, this is the lawyer that we're going to recommend. He can get coffee off of the case. I mean, you never know. These are a lot of scenarios. And that's the reason why I say it is very important that we are proactive, okay? Not calling with a bunch of cockamamia BS, okay? It has to be backed up by facts, because what ends up happening is it turns into a freak show. And we don't want it turned into a freak show, but definitely want to be proactive as it relates to making sure that people understand without harassment, right? Without harassment. So don't let people send y'all out to harass, right? But you want them to understand, hey, listen, we have a concern. I want to know, is there any updates in the YOUNGDOLPH case? We just want to know, is it going in the right direction? If you have valid information, okay, whereas somebody that's in the know has said something, then you call the right entity and sources and give them that information. But definitely make sure, it is very important that that district attorney is paid close attention to. Not necessarily because I think he is corrupt. It is just because I feel like he's a quack. He likes to give everybody a get out of jail free card, right? And I guess one of the things about that district attorney is that he's never tried a case. He is a lawyer, but from my understanding, he went to law school. He's a lawyer. He's got his law license, but he went right into teaching. He one of the things that he ran on was that the Memphians that that's from Memphis, okay, they understand that one of the things he ran on, when his opponents would say, well, you never tried a case, he says, well, all of these lawyers that you see, I taught them at Cecil Humphrey's law school, right? So he was the instructor, one of the instructors over at the law school, right, in Memphis. So that's what he did for many, many years, about 30 years. Never worked in the prosecutor's office, never worked for the defense situation. So he goes strictly, I don't know, but what we do know is that he came in wanting for criminals to go free. So that is something that definitely has to be watched. I think that she has valid concern, right? And they definitely don't need to just brush them off. What they need to do is that they need to let her know, okay, well, this is what's going on, because I know that there was just promotions and there's a lot of transitioning and things of that nature. They need to let them people know that. They need to let them know that. They need to let them know who the new investigators are going to be. And the district attorney and them need to not lie to the public as if they talk to YOUNGDOLPH's family, if they really didn't, so that they won't, because he didn't want to receive a lot of kickback. That's very deceptive if they did not do that, right? Because it is clear to me that Mia has an issue with Orange Mountain being out of jail, right, on bond. It's clear to us that she has an issue with it, right? So, hey, what we want to do is we definitely want to be proactive. If it, it's not based on what you feel. I had feel that did this. And so what happens is when you call with a bunch of garbage, because those people are the ones that's in contact with the witnesses. Believe it or not, they look at a lot of this stuff on the internet. They pay close attention to it. And so when you call with a bunch of mess, they're going to already know that you probably heard that on some blog, okay, that caps, okay? And that's the reason why I say it is important to, I'm talking about with certain information, it is important to be proactive. And please don't let somebody send you out to go and harass authorities, right? Because there is a way to be proactive, okay? Because, you know, people have a tendency of sending folks out while they sit back and grin because they happy that they able to control weak-minded people, okay? So that's the reason why I say it is important in being proactive. You have to, the judge, I don't know who, I've never heard of that judge, okay? So it is going to be important to, since he wanted that case, okay, out of Judge Coffey's courtroom, it is the court clerks that reassign those cases, as I said from the very beginning. So it is going to be important and imperative to pay close attention to that. What court clerk reassigned that case? Was she in cahoots with somebody? Did they want that case in Judge Jennifer Mitchell's court? It's going to be imperative to pay attention to that base, and we'll know based on the rulings, how she ruled, how the attorneys act. It's going to be important to pay close attention to that. I still believe that those appellate judges need to, you know, if people want to do research that to make sure those appellate judges was making a rule based on what they truly felt that, and trying to make sure that, you know, Luke Evans, they cut him at the knees so he couldn't play games, rather than ruling in his favor to get that case in another courtroom. These are all valid points, right? I didn't say that it was a hardcore fact. I'm saying it's valid point. It's a valid point, right? Because I'm like MIAJAYE, there has to be justice, right? You know, we can't have people running around talking about or feeling like that they can just pay somebody, okay, to go and plot and take somebody's life. And I think that's the issue now. We see the energy of a lot of these people. Y'all excuse my dogs, they're outside, okay? They see other folks walking their dogs back there by the lake, so they going crazy, okay? But it is going to be imperative to pay attention to that and be proactive and have valid points and not make it into a freak show. Okay, there is a way to be proactive, to show concern, because when you let people know, first of all, you have to bring attention and expose some stuff, but it has to be valid. That's number one. Number two, you have to let people know that we are paying attention. We ain't sleep on this. So when people thought that they was going to be able to spread money, we see how it's like turning on the light and all the roaches start, you know, scattering out, right? It seems to me when she put into the atmosphere, I'm not sleep, and started exposing quite a bit of stuff, it pissed some people off. Right, it pissed some people off, where they started throwing out subliminals at the young lady. They started, you know, posting stuff on their accounts. That's when you truly know that people were not up to no good. Okay, so like I said, hey, sometimes, you know, it's not being accusatory, but sometimes people think that they're gonna be able to spread some money and pay people off. And if anybody knows, okay, if anybody knows of any officers that's corrupt, that's taking some money, that's a way to be proactive. Okay, you can't be you can't falsely accuse somebody. You're gonna have to have names. If you don't have names, you're gonna have to have a precinct. They're gonna ask you for the time and the place. If you don't have the time and the place, they're gonna ask you, well, who told you? They're gonna ask you how you know. You're gonna have to, well, it can't be, well, you know, I had just believed it. That's just what I believed it. Okay, well, that gets dismissed because it ain't based on what you believe. It's based on what you can prove, what you know for a fact, and what can be backed up by facts, right? If you feel like that that, you know, hey, some things need to be watched. Well, I think the police department is involved, and that's going to be dismissed because it's impossible for the whole police department to be involved in trying everybody on the police department. That don't even sound right. People don't take stuff like that seriously. They look at folks that say stuff like that as being quacks. Okay, the whole police department involved. That's crazy. It's impossible for just because somebody work on a job. Everybody has had a job at some point. Just because one person was crooked, it does not mean that because everybody in their job holds the same title is crooked. That don't even sound right. See, that's what I talk about when I say being proactive, aside from being seeming like a damn fool. Okay, so that's why it is important to let people know. Listen, we watching. We got valid points. We're being proactive, and we want to see this thing through. We want to make sure, because this, it seems a little suspicious. And my God, even in parts of the investigation where you can't talk about certain things, at least give them folks comfort in knowing, listen, we still working it, and we're going in a right direction, to give them solace. But hey, listen, there are certain things that just cannot be out in the media, and because they want justice for their loved one, they've been quiet all this time. They're not gonna leak any information or anything like that. But just at least give them solace. But I understand with certain entities, because Young Dolph's case run real deep. Okay. And that's the reason why I say I was going to be very meticulous about what I put into the atmosphere. Okay. Because she's right. You shouldn't have to find out certain things via the media. Hey, I worked for the police department for 18 years. Okay. I worked there for 18 years. I still do investigative work. I still uh, know people down there. So people have a tendency to speak to me about stuff. So I want to make sure that I'm not putting stuff into the atmosphere, and then it's a shock to their family. Go, wow, why didn't they tell us that? You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that I don't do that. You have to be very cognizant of stuff like that, right? Right. So, but I agree. Okay. I agree. And I'm happy, black men deserve to grow old. She's right. I think it's a darn shame that a bunch of people got together and decided that they wanted to take out Young Dolph. To me, it don't make no sense. It would never make sense to me. And have the nerve to feel like that folks is hating because they speak up. I'm talking about the real people that want justice for him. Okay. Oh, that's just hating. What are you talking about? It was hating when y'all got together and plotted to have that young man taken out. That's evil. The mindset of people, I don't understand, but it ain't right. Okay. But this is why it is important, because when people see that you are proactive, I ain't saying that they won't try nothing, but they'll walk on a tightrope. The people that they try and lure, they're gonna say, especially when they got jobs, that little $10,000-$15,000 ain't gonna be worth a lifetime of pain. Because number one, I'm gonna lose all the way across the board, and then I'm gonna have to go do some time. Okay, because what's gonna have to start happening is people gonna have to start demanding that these people that's taking money, instead of them giving them the opportunity to run and quit, okay, they're gonna have to start getting charged. See, that's what was happening with some of those people in the jail. They was hiring people in mass numbers because of the shortage, and they had such a rush and an urgency. They was just letting, basically, people was telling folks to go apply so that they could do exactly what they were doing. So then they finding out about a lot of the stuff that people was doing in the jail, and once they figured out that they was on to them, they just quit. Right? They just quit. But from my understanding, folks are getting ready, being prosecuted. Okay, a lot of those ones that quit are still being investigated, and even though they quit, because they feel like when they quit, they run and it's over. They picking the cases up. Right? And their ass is going to be prosecuted. So that's a good thing. That's going to deter a lot of these Negroes, okay, from running to these penal facilities so that they can bring paraphernalia in, or take care of little Junebug, so little Junebug can sell paraphernalia, right? So that they can, when ain't nobody looking, they can bend over for little Junebug, okay? because that's what's happening. Everybody that's crooked ain't got no background. Okay. And so they're infiltrating these facilities for a reason. And so I'm happy that their feet is being held to the fire. And instead of saying, well, they gone, I'm dropping it now, they got a responsibility. And we're going to hold their feet to the fire. Okay. And that's going to deter a lot of this stuff. Okay. But anyways, you guys, that's the reason why I say being proactive is important. I'm getting ready to do a live, but I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. I love you guys. I'll speak with you later.